This is my computer. I'm gonna turn down the sound. Live on Facebook. Here we go. Ooh. And not now. Nope, in my group. Real Estate Agent Sales Success Training is my group. Bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, bum. Ba, bum, bum. Ba, bum, 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 bum. Let's turn down my speakers. Okay. Personal finance for agents. Whoop, whoop. Okay. Interactive, not polls. Go live. All righty, here we go. And we're going live. And I'm pulling up my phone. No, not that. I want to be in, I don't want to be in present mode. Hey guys, say hello when you're coming on, please. I am very excited to see you. I am, I think, a minute late. Maybe 30 seconds late, right? Okay, let me get out of this. Let me go back to talking to you just for a second. And then I'm going to pull up the comments on my phone. I have a new computer back in my home office, which is great. You don't have to be in my breakfast nook anymore with me for these Tuesday trainings. Hold on. It's just this day. Please comment and confirm you can hear me, please. Again, we're getting some stuff happening. All right, we get our comments up. Yes, we are. Not having my voice play really loud. It turned my media down. There you are. Hello. Who's ready to talk about personal finance? Because this gal is, I taught this class last week. Was it last week already? I taught this class last week and it was a lot of fun and it gets a little heavy at the beginning. So I'm glad that you guys, okay, good. You can hear me now that your headphones are on. That's fantastic. It gets a little heavy in the beginning. Kyle, I think you were at the in-person class, weren't you? But we're going to go through it. We're going to talk about some strategies. We're going to talk about some mindset stuff for a half of a second. And we are going to dive in to some money-related things. Mrs. Eveland, Chris Coddington, my friend, my bud, you're watching. I'm calling you out from lurker status. I realize you guys haven't actually commented yet. Comment below, say hello, say you're here. Comment below. Hey, Darryl. Yes, it is. It is a revisit, Kyle. So if you already were there, which you were, it's the same content. It's going to be the same stuff. So you can stick around and engage with the conversation and get a refresher from last week. That's the second time I've done that, you guys. Otherwise, enjoy your Tuesday. And this is going to be available by replay as well. So feel free to join that as well. Okay, let's dive into personal finance. So personal finance is a whole lot of fun for real estate agents, right? One of the things about real estate agents, you salespeople, are incredible at sales. Maybe not the best at organization, and sometimes not the best at your money management, right? And so we address that, and I put together a little presentation which I have modified from our key specific continuing education. I've added a couple of slides in there. So without further ado, personal finance. Hold on, I gotta share my screen first. Okay, personal finance. This is from my event, Wealth Building and Personal Finance and Planning for Real Estate Agents. We are going to talk about, what's up, Stuart? We are going to talk about an overview right now, why financial management matters for you. When is the best time to get started with some of your financial management goals? Hint, it's not when you think it is. What to do to get started and how to build wealth, because that's what we're here for, right? So if you think about your why, if you think about why you got into real estate, you're going to change the world, you're going to take on new challenges, you're going to provide better service than anybody ever has, you are going to be the person, it's going to be you. And then you think, I also want some financial freedom. And I want to be able to be debt free. And I want to be able, I need, all of these things. Put all that aside just for a second. How does it feel to be financially stable? How does it feel to be financially secure? How does it feel and smell and taste? And what does it look like? And if you think wealth does not have a smell, I have been to a Westin lobby. I know exactly what wealth smells like. You guys that have been to Westins, I'm sure know as well. So there are certain feelings and sights and sounds and like, there's a lot that happens when you reach your number, when you feel wealthy, right? Now, let's go to the opposite. And feel free to engage with me in the comments in this. Let's go to the opposite. What happens, I guess I could put it big on my face, but I'm not going to, about the opposite of that. What does being broke feel like? It's a little bit of a tightness in the chest, right? What does being broke taste like or smell like? What does it look like? And so we can see very clearly in our minds when we're thinking about our why, the definition between these two feelings and sights and smells as we encompass all the different sensations, right? Now, why are you doing this? Why are you trying to become financially stable? I imagine it's some version of freedom and flexibility in your family. It's typically some realm of that. So freedom and flexibility. There is a freedom that comes with not being tied down to debt. You guys know that. A lot of agents spend dollars before they even make them and then spend the entire month catching back up to zero. They start from a negative position because they have that. And then they're catching back up to zero. I'm going to make the face a little bit bigger. So it's this constant state of being, for lack of a better words, it's right on the screen. The borrower is slave to the lender. You're basically working to pay off debt rather than working for your enjoyment and working for your family and working for your financial freedom, right? And then what about if a crisis hits? If you start the month already in a negative and then a crisis hits and your entire life has to go on pause, then you're even further behind in that, right? And so it's even more devastating. And then people make even more fear-based decisions that lead them in the wrong direction with their business planning. It becomes a little bit more of a panic and chaos rather than taking control and being able to control the type of clients that you're interacting with. Smells like a Motel 6 or a Super 8. That's fantastic. Okay, fear-based why. When you make decisions out of fear, and a lot of agents do, especially if they are not in a place of financial freedom, you distance yourself from the positive outcome. For example, if you tell somebody, don't eat that, it's going to make you fat. If your parents tell you not to eat something, right, it's going to make you fat. And then you sit there and you have this negative connotation with eating right because it's constantly from a punishment standpoint. You never have the intrinsic motivation to achieve that positive and healthy self-worth on your own because you've been told all along the penalties involved with doing the right thing rather than the why behind it. And so it's the same thing with money. If you make fear-based decisions regarding your money, you will constantly have a negative connotation with what wealth and successful people have inside of them. And so that then becomes a freeze or flight emotion, sometimes fight, but it's an emotional response to what you should be doing with your money and your business and your clients. And you start to panic and just grasp out for anywhere to get clients rather than following the plan that you have set in place in order to achieve your wealth because you're running from a place of fear and panic. Yes, the market is shifting. I included this in here. The market is shifting in my region. I don't know how it's like where you are. We're going back to a more balanced market. But if we tip the other way, and I'm not saying we are, and I'm not trying to create fear-based decisions at all, what is your plan for that? You shouldn't be looking at the market and being like, oh my gosh, the market's changing, I'm going to lose all my business. No, look at it as innovation. If you're on the coast, what's happening on the East Coast and the West Coast? Those people are typically 12 months ahead of where I am. So I can sit there and do my market research on what's happening on both the coasts and innovate in my business and be considered one of the leaders in our area before anybody else does. That's, instead of being fear-based, that's being taking the initiative to take control of what's going on, because a lot of fear comes from unknown of what's expected of you, right? For the first time in history, the consumer has taken control from the people who sell things. We no longer have control over our product. They can get the same information on Zillow. They can get the same information on Trulia. They can schedule an agent from Redfin. Like, they have control. We are now in a value-based society and what our perceived value is. And so they are now dictating and having the same access to information as us. Maybe not the MLS sheet showing the co-broke, but they can look up public access information. They can do all of these things. And so what's important for you to know is that you now have to operate from a place of value. And if you are running on fear-based decisions for yourself, you can't possibly promote your own value and self-worth to other people because it comes out. It's like commission breath, right? When you are so desperate for a sale, all you project is what you want, and all it does is push people away. It's the same thing for sales. If you're running on a fear-based place and you're projecting that constantly in conversations with people, all you're doing is pushing them away from your sales. Does that make sense? All right, we're going to continue on the freedom and flexibility. Continued. I told you this is a little heavy at the beginning. Stick with me. I promise it's worth it. You see me? Like, I promise it's worth it. Okay, freedom and flexibility. Imagine how it feels to have money in the bank. Imagine how it feels to invest in new marketing for yourself. Hey, thank you, Chris. Before anyone else, because you have the ability to access those funds to leverage, test, and adjust innovative marketing for your business and be seen as one of those leaders. Imagine how it feels to hire an executive assistant. I know, and a lot of you know, because you're salespeople, that salespeople need a little bit of assistance with organization. An assistant or somebody to do your transaction coordination, if you're operating from a place of fear and scarcity with your money, you will not give up control for someone else to help you because you feel like you have to hold on to those few dollars that it would take to hire that out. You guys, it's taking up more of your brain space and more of your time and more of your heart if you hold on to that and grasp it so tightly. Imagine how it feels to take a 2-month vacation. I know an agent that does this. January 1st, every year, she picks a destination and she goes. She doesn't even schedule her lodging. She just goes and experiences the world because that's her break that she gives herself every single year. Good for her. Imagine what that feels like for you to do that. I am not opposed to that at all. Okay, when you make business decisions as a business owner, you are not operating in a reactive state. That is one of my least favorite things for you, because if you operate in a reactive state, your broker gets that reactive state for your panicked issues that come up. The other thing that happens when you're in a reactive or a fear-based state is that you take on crazy clients that you would have otherwise not taken on if you had a month worth of savings in the bank, 2 months, 3 months, 6 months, whatever it is, whatever your number is to feel comfortable with your money tolerance. If you had that money in the bank, you would not take on the crazy client who then becomes your broker's crazy client, because they always become the broker's crazy client. When you are operating in a reactive state, you are no longer in control of your business. You are allowing the control of your business to be held hostage by other people. When you make business decisions, you are in control of your financial future. You get to control it. And you have lower monthly spending budget to save, invest, and grow your wealth quicker. It is so much easier to become wealthy if you're starting from zero, going forward with your income, rather than starting from that negative space of debt, trying to just get back to zero, and then hopefully you have enough money to save. Does that make sense? Look at all those hashtags, Stu. My goodness gracious. I would highly encourage anyone who is an independent agent to consider a transaction coordinator if that is not your skill set, because you are costing yourself money by doing $12 an hour jobs when you should be focusing on those 300 plus hour jobs. Okay, mindset. The majority of people are not scared to be average. Average is totally comfortable. I get it. They are scared of their own success. And they self-sabotage because they don't feel they are worth what they would make. We, as human beings, tell ourselves stories about ourselves. And one of the most common ones that I hear is, well, we grew up poor. And so in themselves, and it's deep-rooted feelings about money, which is my next point, in themselves, they tell themselves the story of they grew up poor, their family has been poor, and so then all of their decision-making and the way that they engage with people and even the way that they run their business is from that storytelling standpoint, and then all of their actions subconsciously justify it. It goes back to proving right what they tell themselves in their story. And so if you are telling yourself the story of, well, I'm just big boned, with my family's big bone, I'm just big bone, I'm a bigger person. You are constantly telling yourself the story that you can't lose weight and going around and justifying it with your decisions. We, again, as a human population, you may be the exception, and congratulations if you are, go back and justify whatever our storytelling is in ourself. And then the other thing that happens is they are so determined that the other shoe is going to drop. And again, this is a fear-based mindset, that they drop it themselves when it doesn't happen. They physically just stop. I'm going to tell you something which may offend one or two people. It's not meant to. I'm just telling you it. Top producers are not smarter than you. Top producers are not smarter than you. And I'm saying that because I know top producers. Here's what they do. They're more consistent than you. And so again, some of this behavior goes back to self-sabotage. You can do all of the exact same things as a top producer and get to that point. What happens is, though, the story we tell ourselves inside of ourselves and the blame that we allow to shift and the excuses that we make, even at a subconscious level, even in our self-talk, self-sabotage our success. You can get there. You just have to be consistent enough on something, anything, 3 pillar things to get there. You can do it. I promise. Stop self-sabotaging yourself. Stop doing it. It's not good. Okay. Because increasing their success and foundation is uncomfortable, they choose to continue with what they know rather than step out in faith and understanding that they are worthy of the amount they can earn. This is, again, a mindset thing, and I know I'm getting a little woo on you guys. However, hey, Liz, how are you? You are worthy of this, but you need to decide in yourself that you're also worthy of having a successful career in this business. What is your why? Move towards that. And I totally get life happens. Thank you, Darrell. Life happens. I totally understand life and crisis and obstacles and things that happen like that. However, and I said this in my event last week, when you are so focused on your why that you're looking up above the obstacles are going to come. The life and the crisis and those things are going to come. However, you're pointing back to your ultimate goal, which is something bigger and beyond what that week or month worth of obstacles is. I've had a month worth of obstacles. It's totally sucked. However, I'm continuing to move towards my why without faltering too much there. I'm not spending my time or energy sulking over what that's looked like. I'm moving towards something better, right? Same thing for you guys. Okay, when do you get started with this fantastic financial management stuff? Okay. Oh, you don't even know why I'm laughing. I'm so sorry. We're going to take a 2.5-minute detour for funsies, as I put right there. There is no sound with this video. However, I love this video, and it just goes to prove my point. Now, give me my video back. Hold, please. All right, let's see if we can do it, okay? See what happens. I'm going to narrate this video for you. This isn't the narration part. This is just me getting excited about this video. Okay, so this could be a metaphor for your life. This could be a metaphor for your financial freedom. This could be a metaphor for your real estate business. See the mama bear up there at the top of the hill? And she's like, baby bear, you got this. There he goes. Down. This little baby bear. You guys are just going to have to watch this with me. Tell me you can see it, please. At least tell me you can see the baby bear. All right. So now the baby bear's like, I'm going to go up the path that my mom went up. This is the same path she took. I'm going to go up that same exact path. So he's getting up there. I don't know, maybe it's a female baby bear that drones like, yes, this is the moment of triumph. The mom tried to help him up. Guess what happens? I love that bear too. There goes that bear. You guys, the bear actually hits rock bottom. Let that blow your mind for a second. Physically hit rock bottom in this situation. And again, this could go for your financial situation. This could be for your personal life. This could be for your business life. This could be for you changing roles. Physically hit rock bottom. So close, so close. Okay, we have a new narrative. Out in the wilderness. This is for Stuart. Out in the wilderness, this little bear comes upon his own destiny. Can he make it to the top of the mountain? So look at him. He's doing it. He's like, I'm going to do this thing. He's determined. He sees the goal. Somebody else has gone before him. He's hit rock bottom. He's sick of it. He's uncomfortable enough. He needs to change. Now is the time. We're almost there. We're almost to the funsies part of it. I know. He just keeps getting up. You guys can just keep getting up. It is okay. Look, here we go. I'm so excited. He did it. Whoop, whoop. So, and then it's done. Look, he's running off to his future. So that is very exciting for me. Let me see if I can close out of here without closing my thing. Okay. Perseverance. You can do this. It is okay if this December you have ended up in almost the exact same position as last December, but you've learned a lot along the way. It's time to start implementing the things that you've learned. So when is the best time to get started? How do you know you're ready? You're sick of avoiding debt and time collectors. Time collectors is an interesting topic that I have just discovered. So debt collectors, we understand. Time collectors are the same. You have overpromised yourself out, and now you're running from the people who are coming to collect the time that you have promised them. That was a powerful one for me to hear because it reinforces the fact that we need to have boundaries and take care of ourselves first. You've hit your goals and you're hungry for more. Whoop, whoop, you rock. You don't have passion or enjoyment for your status quo. That happens sometimes. You've changed. You have new expectations of yourself. You invested in a course, you've learned some things, you've done some things. You personally have great things that you want to accomplish next. Or your environment has changed. It's no longer meeting your needs, and it's time for you to make a business decision to shift or learn new skills or get a new designation or whatever that business decision looks like, but your environment around you no longer suits what you're trying to do. So that's how you know you're ready. The best time to get started with financial management and wealth building for yourself and having a budget and a profit and loss statement and all of those things is 15 years ago. It would have been so much better for you if you got started 15 years ago or when you got in business or whatever it is back in the past, right? That would have been the best time. Better right now at this exact moment. We are coming into a new year. I know a lot of you guys are doing business planning with your brokers. I'm doing that with my agents. Right now is a fantastic time to get started. The option that's actually going to get done is when you're ready. If you personally are not uncomfortable enough to change, you will not change. It's just it. Unless you are sick of the way things have been, you will not change. You can put some things in place, but you need to start developing new habits that are so uncomfortable for you to continue in the way that you've been that you are bound and determined to change. The best time to get started is when you will actually do it. It's just it. Okay, please. This is such an interesting idea. So I read a thing. I'm going to fix my hair for a second. I read a thing that coming into the financial crisis, there were a couple of warning signs. And so a stock trading company monitored the peaks and valleys of the stock market before the financial crash happened. And so what they saw was when the stock market went up for the day, people logged in to see how that affected their financial account. They would log in, they would say, oh, things are great. I gained 2 points, whatever, and it means this much for me for money. And they would log in. However, when it went down a little bit, they would not. There was a significant decline in the amount of people that would log into their online accounts and check the status. People were ignoring the mildly negative things because they felt that they could still control the outcome. So why deal with the mildly negative things, right? I want to focus on the positive. And so what happened though is once it got past the point of no return in the financial crisis, people were logging in all the time because they could no longer control it. And they were, again, spiraling out of control with fear-based things because they hadn't addressed it before. Your finances are not something to be ignored, and it is not something to be, if it's mildly negative, to not try to control in that circumstance. You have the power to take control over what you're doing. You just have to pay attention to it. And not knowing what's happening with your finances leads to fear of the unknown, which leads to inaction, which leads to devastating results. And then things get so bad that they're past the point of control, right? Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Hey, Sherry, how are you? So what are we going to do about this situation? What shall we do? I don't have a topic. I just needed to stop there. I mean, I have a topic to do. I just don't have something for that slide. Decide that you have a business. You guys, you're business owners. I swear it. It's true. You are a business owner. You are a business owner, not a hobbyist. Start acting like it. You're in control of the business priorities, your time, and your expenses. It is time to take back control. You can do this. My mom finger has come out. You can do this. It's time to take back control of where you're spending your time, how much time you're spending in your email, what you're spending your money on, because I'll tell you what, throughout the year, all those little subscriptions add up. I just eliminated, I think it was like $360 something of subscriptions I had signed up for at one point or another, used it for a month, and then didn't do anything with, right? And so you are in control of that. You are in control of all of these things. Be in control. And again, you don't have to be, you can be super creative. That's not what I'm trying to say. You can be the same. You are, some of you out there are smarter than the top producers. You're just not as consistent. They are consistent. Be consistent. Know what you need to do, and then actually do it. Do it. Your time is your biggest resource. It is your money. Your time is your money. Spend it wisely. You guys know that. Hey, Sherry. Hey, Kelly, how are you? It's been a little bit since I've seen you. Goal setting. So here's the deal about goal setting. Account for where you've been. Sometimes in order to know where you need to go, you need to know where in the world you have been. And again, that goes back to paying attention to what little subscriptions have added up to $366, or what your time is being spent on, where your marketing dollars are going to, and what return it has on it. I had no idea that my first year, I spent 80% of my income on something that 80% of my expenses on something that only produced 7% of my income. If I had measured it all along, I would have known that. Once I was able to look back and see that, I was like, yeah, definitely not doing that, because I'm like, I'm getting sales from this. I don't understand what the issue is. That's not where my biggest bucket of sales were coming from, though. So decide what you want to do. A lot of times we overestimate what it costs for us to do something. So we say, like, I want 6 figures. Well, why? What's the lifestyle that you want associated with the 6 figures? Because you don't actually want the money. What you want is the experience and the lifestyle that you believe it'll bring. For example, my son said to me, I need $10,000. I have to continue working because I need $10,000. Why? Why is that the case? I have a 16-year-old. It's not a 4-year-old working, guys. Don't stress out about this. But why? Well, he wants a Jeep. And so I'm like, okay, well, let's go on Facebook Marketplace and check out Jeeps. So we go on Facebook Marketplace and check out Jeeps. Not $10,000. You can get a decent one for $4,200. And then he has a truck that he's going to sell for $1,500. So really, what he needs is not $10,000. He needs to save for a few months, trade in his truck, or sell his truck on also Facebook Marketplace, and then get it. But he would have never known that if he just attached an arbitrary number to it, which he already did, right? You need to set SMART goals. S-M-A-R-T, specific, measurable, attainable, relevant to your why, and time-based. Create something visual for you to tell the story of your why. I have a vision board. It's right here. See? You see my why? You see that fancy looking house right there? What I'm aiming for. So if you tell yourself, because we're such visual creatures, if you tell yourself the story, also show yourself the story and put it somewhere where you're at every single day. Like, you guys, this is my space. I'm going to see that every single day. I'm going to continue working towards that why, and it's something that I can see very quickly as a visual reminder to continue to motivate me forward. And then write down your goals and share them with someone significant in your life. Why do I say that? Because Sometimes we are so sure we are going to fail that we don't tell anyone, so we don't let them down when we don't get there. And again, that's the story you tell yourself. When you share your goals with somebody, you're proclaiming that it's going to happen, and you're a little bit more dedicated to the result, right? The other thing is, if you share your goals with somebody that's in a similar position to you, there can be a little bit of a healthy competition. Don't tell them that it's a competition, but a little bit of a healthy competition when you're checking in with each other to see how that person does. So you're overcoming obstacles together, but also you're achieving these results together and maybe a little bit competitive with each other, right? That's how I was. Okay, goal setting. Now that you have your big goal, whatever your big goal is, if it's 6 figures, what in the world does that mean? Is it 100,000 or is it 999,999? Whatever it is, work backwards to create your action items and milestones. What do you need to be doing every day, week, month, year? What are the milestones you are using to measure yourself for success? So I like something that I heard yesterday. One of our agents uses every quarter to measure where she should be, and then she goes back and looks at the results of everything that she's done over that quarter and what it's produced, and then she can measure its effectiveness and then test and adjust accordingly. It is totally okay to adjust. It is totally okay to adjust. But how in the world do you know what to adjust if you don't even know where you should be at those thresholds? So set up some milestones for your success. And then know how much time and money it's going to cost, because there will be a time and a money aspect to it, to any new endeavor. So know how much time and money it's going to cost. A couple of quick tips for you. Don't do your own taxes unless you're a tax specialist. And if you're a tax specialist, good for you. That is an incredible skill that most real estate agents do not have. So get a tax specialist. At the milestones, those measurement markers that we talked about in the last slide, you may have to decide if you need to turn back or burn the boats. And either one is fine, but knowing what those milestones are and that you have to make a decision at that point in time or adjust will help you determine and continue on your success. Because here's the deal, and our founder says it all the time, either you have a business plan or you don't. Your business plan works or it doesn't, or you work on your business plan or you don't. Like, are you actually doing the actions items that you said you were going to do to achieve the success? Sometimes that's the case. And then have a summary sheet that you review every day. It's, again, something quick that you can look over and tell yourself, this is what I'm working towards, so that you're intrinsically motivated to achieve it. Get a coach. Get a coach, 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 get a coach. You guys, get a coach. You have no idea how much you are holding yourself back by not allowing somebody from an outside perspective to offer you insight. Somebody that you value, somebody that you appreciate, somebody that can help you get to the next level. Because sometimes we get so overwhelmed and stuck in our own mind that we don't even see our own issue anymore. And so get a coach. Please get a coach. Do that for your own sanity and your own business. It will be the best decision you ever make. Okay, test and adjust. Don't try to break bad habits, just create new ones. Don't tell yourself, well, I'm always a smoker, and so I'm going to try to quit smoking. No, you are no longer a smoker. That is no longer your narrative if you don't want to be a smoker anymore, okay? You know what your new goal is? Working out. You're a gym rat. Good for you. Congrats. You go to the gym for 30 minutes a day. That's your new narrative. Measure everything, because again, you have no idea what's been successful in your business if you're not measuring the effectiveness of it. You have to measure. Fix your morning routine. Here's something. I read a book that said, just get up 30 minutes earlier. No, friends, I do not get up 30 minutes earlier. That's the narrative that I tell myself, and that's the narrative that I live by. However, what I do, thanks, Liz. What I do is take control of my first half hour now. Because that half hour, even though it's small, is the rudder for the rest of your day. It is going to set the pace and tone of what you're doing. And so if you wake up and the first thing you do is check your phone for notifications of people that have contacted you, that is immediately putting you in a reactive state. You have allowed somebody else to dictate how you're going to spend your first 30 minutes. So I don't do that anymore. I hang out. I make my smoothie, I do my hair, I do whatever I need to do in that first 30 minutes. I've also started listening to podcasts after it. So I have fixed my morning routine for something that works for me. No longer am I like, I'm going to fix myself and wake up a half an hour earlier. No, that's not for me. I just fixed my morning routine. hire slow, fire fast. It is okay if something doesn't work out. It is okay if something doesn't work out. It's okay if a program doesn't work out. It's okay if a person doesn't work out. It is okay. But the brain space that is taking up because you refuse to end it is costing you time and money and clients and success. It is okay to fire fast. Create a plan so you can implement it proactively and unemotionally. Again, when you are not being reactive in your business, when you are not operating from a place in a negative for your finances, when you are no longer allowing other people to dictate how you're spending your time or your day or your talents or your treasure, all of that, you can then make unemotional and analytical decisions to move your business forward. But you have to have a plan and you have to remove the emotions from it because you're a business owner. See my mom finger? Okay. Business planning template. I think most of you have seen this. If you need help with your business plan for 2019, you can go to this website. I'm almost positive most of you have seen it. I'm going to click on it really quick so you know what it looks like. joinkeymichigan.com/2019-business-planning. And then you can click right here to download the business plan template that I've been going over. It's just good information. If you have questions about that, let me know. If you want an accountability partner, you can fill this out and how often you want me to check in with you, and then you will get automated check-in places, and I expect a response to it so I can encourage you in your journey. Okay? Okay? All right. Let's continue back over here. There we go. All right. Continuing on. How in the world are you going to do this, guys? Okay, necessary components. You need a financial statement. You need to know what your financial picture looks like every month, okay? Next, you need a profit and loss statement. You need a family budget, and you need to have personal and business bank accounts separated. It is very difficult to have that all together and then also operate your life. It is, I mean, unless your spouse is your business partner, but even then, wouldn't you want to separate those so that you don't get all the commingling and all that? Okay, understanding your financial position. Wow, my face. I don't know if you guys can see this when I share my screen or not, but I've been messing around with my little thing. Okay, understanding your financial position. This is going to seem rather basic, but sometimes we need to get back to our foundational understanding of financial management before we can move forward. Assets. What do you own? That's called your equity. House, car, right? Liabilities, debt. Minus what you have for debt, minus what you have for the car, minus what you have for credit card. The balance is your net worth. Sometimes we start from a position of the negative and we need to make a plan to go forward. It is okay, but it is time to address it. No longer are you going to ignore this. Okay, it doesn't have to be complicated. You don't need to have a financial degree in order to understand your financial position. In fact, if you are complicating it to the point where you don't understand what you're reading, you're doing it wrong. Don't do that to yourself. Understand how much money did you make. If you have no idea, go back in the last 6 months, average it out by month, and then that's your new average expected income. You can grow from that. It's totally fine. How much did you spend? Same process. Go back 6 months, break it down by month, and average it out. Income minus expenses equals what you got. Again, sometimes you start from a place of negative because you have not addressed this for a while. It is okay, but it is time to address it. Okay, a few basics. The profit from your business every month is the amount you have to live on. That's it. Not your credit cards, it's the profit. 30% of your adjusted gross income should go into taxes. Your tax person can help you with a little bit more specifics on that, but that's just a good rule is about 30%. And then start by writing everything down that you spend. If you have no idea, if you don't have accurate financial records, if you've mixed everything up for your business and your personal account, just write it all down for a month and see where your money's going, because otherwise it's going to tell you where it went, right? Okay, setting a budget. Yeah, so great question, Jason. Do you have a format for tracking where your household expenses go to? That's what you've been working on the past week. I will get to the Dave Ramsey section. I would recommend everybody go and investigate Dave Ramsey's free tools for money management. He does Financial Peace University and the Total Money Makeover. Both of those, I used to be a financial peace counselor. Both of those are very powerful and very, very easy to understand. And I think they're free on his website. So go to his website, daveramsey.com, I believe, to get those tools. Okay, setting a budget. What will you spend on your personal and on your business? What are your investments? Charitable donations and taxes. Make sure you include charitable donations. I'm in a area where tithing is big, but we don't always account for it in our monthly budget. If that's a priority for you, make sure it's accounted for. Don't make it an afterthought, right? Same thing for savings. Okay, we need to, Dave is my hero too, but I am also afraid of him. I told the group at the in-person class that I did on this, and I'm going to tell you guys, I once wrote into Dave Ramsey's show and he read my comment on air. And that was very exciting for me. I was very excited about that. So I love Dave Ramsey. Okay, I'm going to take a drink of coffee and then we're going to have this difficult conversation about personal budgets. Yes, account for your equity. That's exactly it. I love Mint as well. Okay, setting a personal budget. If you have never set a personal budget, or if it's been a long time and things are a little chaotic right now, or if you and your spouse don't talk about money, and that's a leading cause of divorce, so I would encourage you not to do that very much anymore. Prepare yourself for high emotions. The first one is the most difficult. It's like getting into real estate, right? That first month is the most difficult. The first budget planning session is the most difficult because things are erratic and you haven't got it measured out, and you may not be on the same page of how to spend your money. So just be aware, the first one is the most difficult. Agree to be respectful with your spouse and or partner, or with yourself. Even give yourself a little grace, because you can't go back and change where you spent your money at. Like, you just can't. But what you can do is embrace this success and prosperous mindset to move forward to something greater. And it starts today. If you're ready to change today, it starts today. So you're going to give your past self some grace, and we are ready to move forward. Okay? And don't avoid it. It does get easier. I swear, it gets easier, but you have to address it. Okay? Yep. I'm even more amazing. Just stop. Okay, setting up a personal budget. What do you need to know? Monthly income and your spouse's income if you have an account for that as well. Monthly expenses, monthly savings amount, and monthly giving amount. Things that will get you into trouble. Credit cards / excessive debt. Payday loans, super interesting about payday loans. Payday loans are not always accounted for on a credit report. However, they really suck you in and take you down a cyclical cycle of nonsense. Please do not get involved with this. If you are currently involved with this, I am happy to help you, not monetarily, but just to coach you out of what you need to do for this, because it is predatory. It is disgusting what they do to people, and I no longer allow you to live in this way. I'm no longer accepting this for you. And don't get behind on the IRS. Don't do it. Don't get behind with them. Okay, anticipating your commission. There are two numbers to be aware of. Survival amount. What is the minimum viable amount you need to survive? And again, we overestimate what that amount is in anticipation of what we want to do with that money. Seriously, what is your minimum amount you need to hit? What is your floor? And then also, what is your regular monthly income? And that's the 6 months of commission averaged out and then expounded forward. Okay, tools, Tiffany, this goes back to you. Expensify.com, Mint.com, EveryDollar.com, MileIQ, QuickBooks. QuickBooks does not work for my brain. I don't know what the deal is. Using cash is an incredible one because, yeah, payday loans are so bad. Yeah, so Darryl, great point. Some people, some business owners use one credit card to simplify their statement because they get it in once a month. I agree that that is one simple way to see all of your expenses in one spot. I have very rarely met a salesperson that only uses it for that and pays it off monthly. That's not to say that it doesn't happen. I'm just saying it's rare. And so what happens is people have the ability to swipe and they spend a little bit more because they have a little bit more flexibility. And the pain of paying with cash, like physically handing it over, is so much and so uncomfortable that it makes them spend a little bit less. And so if you're looking to rein in your spending, I would encourage you to move to cash. However, you're absolutely right. That is a good way to see in one statement everything and then just pay it off every single month. The Wave app is a good one. Yeah, there's a lot of good ones out there. If you guys have other ones, just post them in the comments. The National Association of Realtors came out with a money management tool I don't love it. So again, it's because it doesn't work for my brain. The same way QuickBooks doesn't work for my brain. I'm giving you this resource because they have also identified this as a target priority for real estate agents: wealth management, money competency, and how to engage with it. So you can go to financialwellness.realtor and walk through their Center for Financial Wellness. I think they've got a lot of really, really good information on there. And again, it's good. It just doesn't work for my brain. And so the Dave Ramsey tools have been much, much better and much more common sense and relatable for me. So either way, just get some form of increased knowledge in this area. Okay, tools for money management, the 70-10-10-10 principle. 70% of your personal budget money you can spend. I mean, you could spend it anyway. I'm not saying you can't. I'm just saying this is a good principle. Spending that. 10% to savings, 10% to investing, and 10% to giving. You may not be able to do this right away because of the credit or debt or expenses. You have a lot of expenses right now, so you don't get to that. Work towards it as a goal. It is totally okay to work towards that as your goal. Okay, food for thought. I think this might be one of my last slides. Maybe it is. Maybe it's not. I don't know. Food for thought. Poor people spend their money and invest what's left. And very often there's not a whole lot left, right? They're not paying themselves first. Rich people invest their money first and spend what's left over. And I realized that I could create the distinction between poor and rich as an amount in the bank, an amount of income. Those are all sorts of things that we could do it. I'm going to define them as mindsets right now, because a person that makes a lot of income could be spending over every single month, and therefore in their mind be a poor person and justifying what they believe is the case and self-sabotaging, right? So just make those as mindset distinctions. I know that they are behaviors and what they're doing, but I think it's a mindset distinction too. Excuse me. When you pay yourself first or put your money to work with investments, you aren't giving yourself the leftovers. And that's kind of what it feels like when you pay everybody else off first, and then finally you decide, okay, I have this much left to give and to save for myself. You're giving yourself the leftovers. You're not making yourself a priority, right? So that's my food for thought. Oh, there is more slides. I didn't realize I had more. Comfort is the enemy of wealth and greatness. Same thing for your real estate career. If you get stuck in average, you're not continuously learning, you're not continuing to hone your skills, you're not paying attention to what's happening in other markets so that you can be an innovator in your own, you will be average. That's it. It's just, I mean, yes, you may be ahead of the pack right now, but at some point, because you forget to invest in yourself and your skills, you will fall behind. If you achieve your goals, set a new one. Totally fun. Buy the shoes, but every once in a while, and learn the power of no. The power of no is your greatest tool and resource to taking back your business and your time and your money. The power of no. Okay, Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps plus one of my own. Save $1,000 very quickly. Pay off your debts except for the house. And the way that he says to do that is in a snowball effect. And so you list all of your debts out, smallest to largest, and whatever the payment is for that first one, maybe it's $25 or whatever, as soon as you pay off that first little one, you put that $25 to the next one for the minimum balance. So maybe that first one was $25 minimum payment, the next one was $50. So when you pay off that one, the next one gets $75 a month towards paying it off until you pay that off, and then you roll it into the next one. And I realize that is counterintuitive if you have a lower interest rate or whatever, but the momentum that you will feel from accomplishing paying off a debt will move you forward, and almost always you pay them off quicker than you expect. Okay, baby step number 3, have 6 months of savings in savings. 4, invest 15% into Roth IRAs. That's what he suggests. I would encourage you to talk to your investment specialist about that. 5, save for college, for your kiddos, for you, for whoever. Save for college. Pay off your home early. That's number 6. 7, build wealth and give wealth. 8, have fun with your investing. This is my addition. I love our city. I love Grand Rapids. I love the redevelopment that's happening in the community investing that's happening. And one of my big passions is to be an angel investor for redevelopment happening in Grand Rapids. That's what I want to do. I'm so pumped to do it. I have to get to that step in order to do it. but that gives me the financial freedom in order to do it and go invest in these ways. So have fun with your money. That's why we're doing this, you guys. Maintaining results, prune off dead or unfruitful expenditures, expenses, people. Stay vigilant on your finances as well as your time. Stay vigilant on how you're spending your time. Delegate as much as you can. If it is not your genius zone and you can delegate it, you should, because it's taking up your time and attention away from your income producing activities, your highest and best calling, right? Schedule regular check-ins with a mentor or coach or your broker. And then learn what wealthy folks do and do it. Go do what they're doing. Okay, what kind of questions do you guys have? Stop share. Post them in the comments. I'm happy to answer them. Yes, yes, yes. I hear yes, yes. Well, I'm reading it. I'm not hearing it. All right, I'm going to stick around for 20 more seconds to give people time to type out questions if you've got them. Do you guys see I got my Christmas pen on? I don't even think you can see what that says. It says Feliz Navidad. I have worn this pin for the last 10 or 11 years at Christmas time, and it is not Christmas for me until I put this pin on. And so I'm wearing the pin finally. It's covered by my hair, but yeah. Okay. I don't see any questions coming. If you have them, please, please, please post them in the comments and tag me. I am more than happy to answer them. Self-directed Roth IRA is a super smart way to invest in real estate. Yes, and we have a totally separate class on real estate investing. That is Joe Albreen's special genius zone. That is not my special genius zone, and I'm sure he can talk to you guys a little bit more about what investing in real estate looks like and some smart ways to take advantages of those self-directed Roth IRAs and all that stuff. Okay, guys, have a fantastic rest of your day. I will see you soon.